point of this whole thing is showing y'all how to shorten a bolt. I'm cheap. I had these carriage bolts left over from something else. I don't even remember, to be honest with you. And I wanted to use these to bolt the plywood to the planer. And they fit, except that if I lower my planer all the way down, they're too long. So I'm having to shorten them just a little bit. Seems real simple. Some folks might not know how to do it, so I'll just show you real quick here. I'm going to set my camera down. Actually, I'll do this in steps, but part one is you want to take your bolts here and take as many nuts as you have available, at least one. I would say, I've got 4 here, I'm going to use all 4. And thread all 4 nuts onto the bolt. And then what you do is when you put your bolt in the vise, when you cut off the end of the bolt, you'll thread those nuts back off, and it'll realign your threads. Problem is, if I just throw this in the vise and cut the end off of it, I'll damage my threads and I won't be able to get a nut back on. So put the nut on, cut it, take the nuts back off to realign the threads, and I'll show you that here in just, let's see. Well, I'm not going to show you how to put nuts on a bolt, but I'll at least show you how to cut it. So I've got all 4 nuts on this bolt. This bolt is actually already bent. I'm not sure if y'all can see it. I don't know. Again, I don't remember what these are used for. But this bolt is actually bent on the end there a little bit already. So I'm going to cut off where it was bent. So we're going to stick the bolt in the vise here and just clamp down on the head of it as tight as you can. And you'll want to hold the bolt in addition just to be safe. And I'm going to spin that nut out to where I want to cut off to, just to give me a guide. Get my handy dandy tape measure here. Double check it. 3/4 of an inch, right where I want to be. Pick up my bolt cutter, bolt shortener 5000. Got this off the $5 rack at Northern Tool or somewhere like that. I don't know how great the blade is, but the first bolt I cut took me a while. But anyway, line up just beside your nut so it keeps it straight. Make your first couple passes to get a groove started, and then you can go to town on it. Now, I'm not going to make y'all sit through the torturing sound of me sawing. So, okay, we'll cut that off. So I got the end of it cut off now. It's interesting how hot this gets just from using that hacksaw. It's almost too hot to touch. Actually, it really is too hot to keep my finger on. You can see the nuts are still on there. Take my handy dandy wrench, put it back on the nut, and actually we'll just spin the nuts out to the end, and they're going to lock up right there on the end just because the threads are bunged. Throw your wrench on it, turn that nut off. Drop the nut on the floor and lose it in the bin. Don't want to do the dropping part. I'll dig through my PVC bin and find it back. But we're just going to spin all 4 of them off here. And I'll move all 4 over, put them on the next bolt, rinse and repeat. So, that's it. It's real simple. Now y'all know how to shorten a bolt. The most important thing is to put the nuts on the bolt before you cut it. If you don't have something on there to realign those threads before you cut it, you'll mess the threads up, you'll never get a nut back on, and you just ruin the bolt. So, good luck!